You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
The soonest, maybe most consistent chance we see for Micah Hudson to make an impact with the ball in his hands?
I mean, yeah, but he's going to play some receiver for you. I mean, he is. I think there's some of these receivers that would say, and they're not going to say it aloud. They're not going to like post it, and like this is when we're keeping with the under the radar, right? I think they would tell you they're pretty excited to watch this kid play now that he's in a different place and all that. But yeah, he could see some impact immediately felt special teams wise. He's going to get more opportunities there, but I'm not ready to really rule out that he could, as a backup, as a rotational guy. I don't know what that looks like. Is that a big part-time job or a small part-time job? I think we're going to start to figure a lot of these things out. But and then a name I want to mention to you that I think you're going to hear, Roy Alexander is one that we've already known in the punt or kick game, return game. He may have more value than you want to put back there, kind of like Jacoby in some ways too, because I think that Jacoby Williams is like really in line to be a main returner, kick, punt, all that stuff. And I just think that they're going to be smart there. Kenny Perry said there's going to come time in a game this year where I'm going to put Jacoby back there just because we need something to happen. But the one of the younger players that I want to mention to you, because I think you're going to see him a ton on Saturday night, coverage units, returner, receiver, all that. And this program has been really good to Texas Tech. This is a high school program that's really been good to Texas Tech. You haven't missed much when you've gone this route. But Tristan Gentry is a name that I want everybody to remember. This is, think Cody Davis, I think. Am I right? I think, Coy Aiken. So Tristan Gentry is going to be the next in line of just a really good, really good player. I think he's quick. I think he's sure-handed. I think he does everything right. So I just know he's going to, I think because Jacoby may come out of the return game in a lot of ways, and Micah may get more. Now Tristan Gentry is now going to get inserted a bit more into this equation as well. And you'll see them rotate various guys in some of these spots, trying to figure out what they like and don't like there as we go along here.
Man, a situation where you can really flip a game and obviously give yourself an advantage where few others find it if you can make a dent in the return game. And I'm excited to see some of these guys with an opportunity to work. I mean, especially Micah Hudson for obvious reasons, hoping there's still lightning left in that bottle just when he gets the ball in his hands, and we'll love to see him get an opportunity to make something special happen. Definitely figuring in, of course, from a receiving standpoint that we'll see some run, but I just don't know what to expect out of that group or where he fits in. So maybe from a kick return standpoint, we see some flashes of that lightning. Maybe the earliest, I don't know. But it sounds like he'll get some opportunities clearly on Saturday, assuming a point is allowed. There will be an opening kickoff of both halves. We know that. So maybe we'll see him factor in there. Chris, before we get out of here.
And tortillas will fly.
That's correct. An appropriate amount of times, whatever that means.
You mentioned on the – yeah, that's right. You mentioned the word kickoff, and I automatically think – I think Kenny Perry was like, I think some people are going to throw 2 or 3 of them, at the same time. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right, Coach.
I think some people might have an extra beer to get amped up for this thing this time around. I don't know. Wild idea. Chris, something else that seemed to be a point of emphasis just conversationally among teammates, coaches, etc., and probably is not being discussed enough, not only going through last year, but now getting ready for this one among Texas Tech fans, is something that's different for Behren Morton, the quarterback, from last season to this season. We actually just heard on a previous episode from Coach McGuire about what he felt like he was seeing that was maybe different. Like, does this look this way? Does this look that way? As he's feeling a little bit better rolling into this year than some years gone by. But there's another component that I really don't even think we've mentioned in a good long while, if at all, he is set to practice. We do intend for him to involve himself in team practices this year. Can you imagine what that might produce for a quarterback if Monday through Friday you're a participant? What a novel idea and a big change. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel, and the NFL season is almost here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet only $5, and if your bet hits, you're going to get $300 in bonus bets to use anywhere, all across the app. And, of course, the FanDuel app, by far the quickest and easiest way to add electricity to your NFL Sunday. Ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet at FanDuel.com.
And Kenny Perry was asked about trying to remember like what led him to this, but it was I'll tell you exactly what it was. Kenny Perry would sit up in the last couple of years and he would talk about the confidence that Taj Brooks would give this entire team. Like he was just a guy and all these things. And so I think it was posed, Coach, who do you see giving the team that kind of thing this year? And he really quickly just said Behren Morton. He leaves his door open to his house all the time. Guys go hang. I think that he's and he kind of was just explaining, man, he's looked really good and all those things. And he said something like, which we've known and we've kind of covered, but it's worth reminding people. It's like, I just don't think people – I think Kenny was like, I just don't think people realize what he's been through the last couple of years. Guys, he wasn't practicing. He was playing game to game with nothing in between. And could he tell you how far he could throw the ball before the game? No, he couldn't. He didn't know this is 2 years ago, like what his shoulder would do. And there were several times where I think they called some of those passes. I remember one in particular. Now, you hammered these guys that day. I think of just a very underthrown deep ball in Waco. It was one of the only really bad plays you had that whole game because you just ran over them and you did some other things via the passing game. But he just went back to throw it, and it just wasn't there. And as a play caller, how do you design what you're going to try to attack and what you're doing? Anyway, long story short, we fast forwarded through all of that, and it was better last year, but he's now fully healthy. And I think what his teammates are saying is, well, and even in the spring he missed practice, but now he's able to practice and he's out there with us and he's the energy guy. You could just tell that he feels better about himself. He's in the weight room now, which he was not allowed to be in before or wasn't allowed to lift because of an issue with his shoulder. So I just think all of that has led to him being in a better mental space, and it's led to confidence because I think he's enjoying where he's at because he feels good, and I think everybody could be the beneficiary. So I'm certainly here for it, but I just this has a chance to be a really good story. I think if he can take you to the promised land here because he's a homegrown kid and all that. So we'll see what we get starting this Saturday night.
Yeah, it'll just be such a refreshing change if week to week you're not kind of engaged in some mystery as to the percentage of Behren Morton's health.
I mean, I hope. Yeah.
I know it improved to a degree last year, but it's just kind of been this running thing for years on years now, and nobody knows it better than him, I'm sure. So it'd be great, aside from normal wear and tear, which obviously will be a part of any season, but would be great to kind of put that conversation to the side rolling through this fall. We'll see. All right, Chris, an offensive line that's improved should aid in that effort, and we'll circle back to some thoughts on, of course, that group before the week is up and some other points of emphasis as we're getting ready for kickoff Saturday night. So looking forward to being back with you once again and enjoyed it as always, and we'll see you for the next one.
Do we want to – you got it on the screen, so I don't want to get accused of us not covering it. Did we cover the Bears part of this thing?
Yeah, I was going to get out of here without mentioning it, actually, which is something that was the most jarring thing said this week.
Okay. Do we want to –
Tell me about what you heard and what reference was made, because this is as serious of a football reference as can be made.
1,000%. Like, I was like, whoa. that is the holy grail. It's like, I don't know what was it, I'm trying to remember the 1910 Yankees or something. There's like the Gehrig, the Ruth, the whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's a version of the maybe it's the 27 Yankees is what it was. But like 85 Bears, when I hear that, I think that's about as high of a praise defensively as you're going to hear. And I heard Kenny Berry, he said something to the effect of, I've got a lot of young players like in my units. I'm excited about them. Like, I think it's fun for me. He's like, we're not like the 85 Bears like that. Those guys over there, they got all the answers and all this stuff. And I looked around and I was like, I mean, that's now they do have William Perry was, the fridge, and they do call Lee Hunter that. So there's some similarities there. But I just thought, I really want to watch this defense play. I'm really ready to stop talking about it and see it get turned loose and just see the depth and the speed off the edge and the simplicity of it all, I guess, the speed and everything. But you start talking 85 Bears, man, you are getting this guy's attention. I can tell you that right now. I don't care whether serious, and I think he was kind of semi-serious, whether joking, because he may have been joking, because they do have refrigerators. There's some similarities there. But you start mentioning that reference, young, old, indifferent, you should know that's about as heavy as praise of anything you'll hear when it comes to a football reference anyway.
I think maybe I was subconsciously just trying to forget about it because it made me so damn nervous it was said out loud about the team I'm rooting for.
I'm with you. I hear you. I did not. It wasn't manufactured. He smiled when he said it, and so I'm like, 85 Bears, man. Like, did you realize? I mean, that's. I mean, Richard
1985.
Richard.
Yeah,
Richard Dent, Mike Singletary. I mean, Wilbur Marsh. I mean, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Dave Duerson. I mean, Gary Fensick. I mean, they were.
Can't forget Bensick. Nobody rises to low expectations, so I'm sure that's just the wisdom he was employing there and throwing out something like that. Thank you for reminding me. That's scary, but could be scary good if we actually.
But we love us some KP, man. He always keeps the train rolling, man. He's a hell of a personality. He's Joey's yin to other people's yang, from the stem where he kind of levels him out. And he's because keep in mind, Kenny may have referenced this, but Kenny's also the guy that will get in Joey's ear and be like, dude, will you be quiet? Will you stop talking so positively about insert here? Like, we just chill out and stop? Or you know what? Just go home and say nothing. Don't do another show or radio interview or podcast and like talk about things in Lubbock or how good, whatever. And so they're best friends. And did we just become best friends? I think we did. Yeah, that's right. So there we go.
I might even take the spring of 86 Bears. I don't know what they were up to on the come down on the other side, but probably still pretty salty. We'll see if we get something anywhere near those types of rare airs that we'd be inhabiting this year. If you can really revitalize yourself defensively like that, anywhere near it, you're going to be contending for some hardware. I don't have any doubt. All right, Chris, appreciate you for your time as always, man. Enjoyed it. We'll catch you for the next one. And of course, everybody out there, thank you so much for your time, and get subscribed on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts so you never miss an episode. Thanks to the everydayers for always being out there, and the Matador Mob as well. Hit our show notes and find a link to a free 14-day trial if you're interested in joining that crew. That's your direct line to Chris and myself with one-on-one texts sent straight to your phone. For Chris, I'm Casey. Thanks as always for the time. We hope to see you back for the next round on Locked On Texas Tech.